Hey, what's going on Digimon TCG players? This is JOF Digimon JermX here, bringing you the first video for this YouTube channel. This channel is just going to be a channel I'm running with two buddies of mine, Oritama and Phildramon. We're just going to be bringing you Digimon news, gameplay, and deck profiles, just all the sorts. For the first video for this channel, I'm starting off with a quick deck profile of one of my favorite decks. I've been winning me consistent games, and it's just a cheap deck to run in general. It's that of Commandramon, D-Brigade. Starting off with the 4 Pagumons, just a great baby to have. Since your Commandramons want to die, you're going to be gaining that on deletion, draw 1. Sometimes it doesn't hit, sometimes it does with this deck, but when it does, that's a good card to have in your hand. Next up, we're running the 4-4-4-4 Commandramons. These guys are your bread and butter for the deck. You always want to have them in your hand, you want to have them on the field, you want to have them in your grave, you want them everywhere, except security. Going in depth to each one, this one's a great one for memory choking. This one is great for blocking, but also swing with it. Don't hesitate to swing with the blocker Commandramon. You want to keep swinging at your opponent, don't give him a chance to breathe. This is the 4-drop 5k, it's just a hefty Commandramon. Sometimes it lives security checks, which is great. You do want your trash to be built up, but sometimes you just want that extra swing or something for your opponent to deal with next turn. And then the on deletion Commandramon, this one's just great to have because you can swing with barely any repercussion, because most of the time you're going to have another Commandramon at the top of that deck. Alright, next up for the level 3s, we're running 4 of the Haguromon. Hagurumon's great for this deck since all your D-Brigades are Machine and Cyborg, so you can build up your hand along with building up that trash pile for that Darkdramon. Next up, here's where the jank comes in a little bit. You're going to be running 2 of the Starmons. These guys are great for getting rid of any Madoki Betas or Gazimons that are going to prevent you from hard playing that Darkdramon. And you can honestly clear a lot more with it depending on how many Commandramons you have on the field. Just a great card to have. That's it for the level 3s. For the level 4s, we're going to be running our blockers, which are going to be 2 Sealsdramon and 2 Mechanorimon. You can swap it out for 4 Sealsdramon or 4 Mechanorimon, whichever you want to. I'm running an even mix. Sealsdramon is just a great Digimon to Digivolve onto a Commandramon that say that you don't want to swing with, or if you really need that blocker for next turn. It's also an extra D-Brigade that you can build in your trash. And then Mechanori is just my favorite blocker in all of the black cards. That multi-block is just insane. It stops your opponent from rookie rushing you. Next up for the level 4s, we're running 2 of the Grumblemon. Everybody knows that you need those 2 tamers for that extra swing at the end. And given that we're running a decent amount of tamers in this deck, the Grumblemon does come up. You can also evolve onto it if you need that extra draw. Now here's where the jank comes in. We're running 4 Cordramon and 3 Geogreymon. Now these cards are great when they hit in security. I know not all the time they will, but they're also good for hard dropping. Say you're at 3 memory and your opponent has a memory tamer, you don't hesitate to drop one of these if you need to. It's a big body that your opponent has to deal with, and you gain some on plays from them. When your opponent swings at your security and hits these, your board will get big very fast. We're not running any level 5s in this. You could run Tankdramon or any other level 5s if you feel like it, but I feel like this deck doesn't need it since we're going to be running 4 of the Darkdramon. Now Darkdramon is just the bread and butter of the deck. You want to get that boy out there as fast as possible to swing at your opponent. You can usually end game with it. If not, it's just a big boy for your opponent to deal with. And then with that Darkdramon, we're running 1 Omnimon Zwart. You could run honestly any level 7 you feel like you can run with this deck. You can run Zwart Defeat. One of the ones I've seen that's happening a lot is Dexmon, because that card is absolutely disgusting. But it's just any level 7, just to evolve on that Darkdramon in case it lives that swing. And for the tamers, we're running 3 Kazus. Kazu is a great card to have in this deck. When you got a Cyborg Machine in play, gain more memory during your main phase, so all your D-Brigades, they count towards that. And then that all turns effect is also great. When one of your cyborgs or machines gets tapped, draw one trash one. So you can build up that trash pile, build up your hand, and get up to that Dark Dramon. And then we're going to be running 2 Izzy and Joes. They're just a great memory tamer to have. And then since your guys are going to be dying a lot, especially during your opponent's turn, if they live that security check, you can gain draw off of it. One thing you could run as well, you can run Izzy if you really wanted to. Great card for this deck as well. Review the top 3. If they're all black, gain a memory, and then put it back in any order, so you can set yourself up for the on deletion command Dramon if you really want to. And then for our option cards, we're running 2 Prides and 1 black. So the Prides are just a great card to have in general. A good majority of your deck is 4 cost and under, so Mechanoris, all your level 3s, they're just a great card to hard drop. You gain that memory next turn, you get a Digimon on the field. And then the black mem boost is there for if you really need to find that Dark Dramon and you haven't found it yet. Hard play that black mem boost, hope for the best. If anything, gain 2 memory next turn. For the final cards, you're going to be running 2 Iron Fist Onslaught. You could either run this card or Ultimate Flare. Either or works, it depends on your preference. I prefer this for board wipes, especially when you're dealing with Joggers decks. And yeah, that is the deck profile. Appreciate if you like and subscribe. This is our first video for the channel, so I don't think it's going to do too hot. We're still pretty new to this, so I get that this recording is kind of janky, but we'll get better at this as we go. Thank you for watching.